Hey everybody, Dr. Snellgrove here, and just recording a video to welcome you to our technical report writing class, introduce you to myself, and really just review the syllabus. I always joke with face-to-face classes, the most exciting day of the whole semester is when we just go over all the rules and policies and procedure. So by the time this video is up, the syllabus should be up. Might actually have some corrections. I posted it yesterday. I'm already seeing some things I need to fix, but I was just going to encourage you to read along. You can pull the syllabus up on Canvas. Please let me know if you have any access difficulties with Canvas or with the syllabus, but you can read along as we go along. All right. So the first part is, got my pertinent info. I always joke with people, they make me put the format it this way. So it says Professor Dr. Snellgrove. I always thought it sounded a little weird, Professor Doctor. If any of you are Venture Brothers fans, it reminds me of the character Dr. Mrs. the Girlfriend. It's got my email address there. That is our official form of communication. I'll remind you about that a little later in the syllabus. Maybe more importantly for you as online students, it has my personal cell phone number. That's what's up with that weird area code. So you can text me if you have any questions, especially quick questions. I do ask you to text instead of just call. Like if my phone rings and I don't recognize the number, I don't answer. But if you text me like, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm in your online class, we can arrange a phone call if you need to, but most of the time students just have quick questions like, when does that thing do? Or how do I access the blah, blah, blah? And I can text you back really quick. I emphasize that because I'm working on my work-life balance, so I'm not really checking the work email as much at night, but I do want y'all to be able to reach me, especially if you have questions or an emergency or anything. All right. I put my office hours on here. These are really just like, you are online students, but you're always welcome to come by my office. These are hours that I'm just in here set aside for anyone to come in. That does include you guys, but it's also time that I'm on the campus. So if you do want to arrange a phone call or a video call or anything like that, this would be an ideal time to do it. All right. So course description, it's got, we're covering technical report writing, mechanics, style, just everything related to it. We've got a whole bunch of course level student learning outcomes there. It's like, and I'm not going to read all of it, but just paraphrasing, hey, the steps involved in, creating, printing, an approved final technical report, getting certain like technical data for particular topics, how you present the data in a convincing and compelling way, integrating visual elements into things like presentations, even mastering like oral report type things. Lots of stuff here. And there's a thing buried in here. I realize y'all's eyes probably glaze over when you see all these student learning outcomes, but there's a thing there like getting on the job real world view of technical report preparation. And that is really my goal. So full disclosure, this is literally my first time teaching this class. I've prepared countless technical reports. I know the mechanics, I know our textbook pretty well, which we're about to take a look at here. But it's my first rodeo with this. And so my big goal for all of this is I wanted to create something that's very practical for all of you. Composition 1, I love it. It's literally my favorite class, but you do get the occasional students like, when am I going to use this outside of the classroom? It's like, okay, when are you going to write 5-page essays on random things? Probably not a lot, but the aspects of writing, the things that you start learning in there are things that really apply to the real world in a lot of dynamic ways. And so that really continues in this class. My hope is that you'll become very comfortable, like giving an oral report, putting together a PowerPoint presentation, putting together a killer resume, all of these things that, sure, they'll get you a good grade here, but I'm also hoping they'll help you find and keep, a good job, get promotions, all that fun stuff. All right, course materials. So our textbook is the Essentials of Technical Communication, 5th edition. I guess the image may be reversed, so I don't know how helpful this is. You'll recognize the image maybe. But I was going to say, this is obviously available in our college bookstore, but as online students, y'all might not be on campus super often. You can find the book anywhere. As long as you can read it, I am not too particular on how you get it. So I mentioned that because some people, prefer, physical textbooks. Other people prefer, digital text. Really, whatever you can get. If you want to save some money and get a digital version, it's a-okay by me. All right. Diversity and inclusion statement is in here. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but just emphasizing the college is fully committed to diversity. I am personally on the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. I know when y'all look at me, het cis, middle-class white male, the first word you think of is diverse, but we are committed to diversity. And I mean, this is on all the syllabi. Spoilers, you're probably seeing it quite a bit. But it is maybe of particular importance in here because going along with the real world emphasis of this class, like I may be on the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee here, but those kinds of committees and those kinds of values are increasingly prominent in the corporate world. So it is important to know how to navigate that and prepare reports, presentations, all of that good stuff in a way that doesn't maybe, I don't know, microaggress somebody. I didn't want to sound flippant, but it's like not get you in trouble at work. We want you to be a good person, and embracing diversity is part of that, but we also want to not get you in trouble at work. One of our goals. All right, accommodation resources. So if you are a student who has a documented disability for which accommodations may be appropriate, we have an email address here. We have a phone number here that you can reach. And I do encourage you to reach out. Now, we're online students, so you could say some accommodations are built in, like, there's very, very few like timed tests. I think there's no timed test or anything in here. A lot of it is like, hey, we're working on about one project a month, but maybe you have an accommodation where you need, extra time, or maybe you just have other classes. So I always tell people that the accommodations are like, if you make a lot of special requests of me or any other professor, like, hey, I need extra time, I need blah, 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 they might hit you with the classic, like, I can't do it just for you. I could get in trouble. So if you have, an accommodation on file with us, the shoe is on the other foot. The professors are obligated to give you the accommodations that you need. So please take the time to fill that out. Student counseling services. We have a link in here and a phone number for Bridgeway Center. Basically, by being a student here, you can get up to 5 therapeutic sessions with one of their behavioral health providers at no cost. I know that's important. We just came out of the holidays. I know a lot of people get depressed around the holidays. So it's good to have someone to reach out to if you need to. All right. I'm already looking at it. I'm going to tweak it. We have a section I have to include the syllabus about class attendance, but you're online students. So your class attendance mostly boils down to, please do the work. Please reach out to me if you have questions or concerns. There's not an actual physical place you ever have to meet for this class. All right. Now, we have a grading scheme and procedures that might look kind of familiar to you if any of you suffered through me in 1101. So basically, we have 4 major projects in here that we're going to complete. And so the 4 major projects, I believe in this order, I've got it written down: PowerPoint presentation, technical report, oral report, and resume. And so it shakes out. It's 4 months, 4 major projects, working about 1 project a month. The projects themselves are each worth 20% of your overall grade for a combined total of 80% of your overall grade. Along the way, we'll have daily assignments, which is really just, it's not going to be random homework. It's going to be like you putting together parts of things that go into your project or drafts of the project. And then we have a final exam at the end that's the remaining 10%. We have a section here on incompletes. Basically, if you have been showing up, if you have been, well, I say showing up, if you've been turning stuff in, but then some unexpected life throws a curveball at you and you can't complete some work, if you reach out to me, if you keep me in the loop on this kind of thing, I can temporarily get you an incomplete at the end of the semester. And that would give you, I wouldn't recommend waiting this long, but that would give you technically until the end of fall semester to get the remaining work in. Once you do, the I turns into whatever your actual grade you earned is. And if you don't get the work in, the I becomes an F. Makeup work. There is sadly no real makeup work in here. I'll work with you. If you completely bomb a project or something, I'll work with you to revise it if need be, but I don't have any sort of formal makeup work. Instructor communication, I'm supposed to remind you, email is the official form of communication in the college. So I'll try not to do it too much, but I will periodically send out emails to the entire class. And, you know, those emails may include information about like, hey, you've got extra time on blah, blah, blah. So it's worth your time to check them out. And all right, academic integrity. So we may use like different tools to make sure you're not plagiarizing, although honestly, the kind of stuff you're doing here would be very difficult to plagiarize. Let's see, electronic device. Well, I mean, there's so many things here that are basically just for face-to-face students. Like there's a whole section where it's like, it's okay for you to record me, you know, giving you a lecture, but you're only watching recorded lectures from me. I guess it's okay to download those, you know, personally, if you want to. Children in the classroom, that doesn't apply to online students. Emergency college closure doesn't really apply to you all that much. It's like, this basically boils down to if there's something like weather. I'm looking at pouring rain outside my windows right now. You know, if we have inclement weather or anything else that might cause the college to close down the campuses, you'll be emailed and you'll probably be texted and robocalled. This doesn't really matter to y'all either as online students. We have an academic continuity plan. It's like, it basically, hey, we might have to switch to doing things online if we have another COVID type thing that happened, you know, a few years ago. But again, y'all are already online. So that's mostly a, hey, face-to-face students, you might have to do online classes at some point. We encourage you to read the college catalog and the student handbook. I've personally told you or told students before, lots of great info in there, makes for a wonderful bathroom reader. Grievance policy and procedure statement. It's so official now. So if you have, you know, an issue with me in the way that I have taught material, or especially in the way that I have graded you, first, obviously, if you feel comfortable doing so, I want to encourage you to come to me. But if you don't feel comfortable doing so, or if you have already come to me and we didn't reach a, you know, good resolution, there is now, this is a link on the syllabus. I'm pointing like y'all can see it, but there's a link on the syllabus where you can access the formal grievance appeals form. So gets it in the system, lets you, if need be, talk to my department head, my dean, my vice president, and so on. Nope, nobody's ever done that. I hope y'all won't be the first, but all right, I have a tentative assignment schedule here. I'm not going to read all that to you. You can read it on your own, but one of the things I wanted to note about this is y'all are online students. So I made this basically a weekly schedule. And so instead of a normal, if you were face-to-face students, I would normally have, like, here's what we're doing Tuesday, here's what we're doing Thursday. So instead, all of your stuff says like week of January 17th, week of January 24th, that kind of stuff. And so it's like, hey, this is what we're doing for the week. And then I tried to kind of do you a solid where stuff is never due at the beginning of the week. Like if you go through there, you notice when stuff is due, it's always like 11:59 p.m. on the Thursday of that week. So that way we're an online class, but that gives you a little extra time to catch up. And honestly, sometimes it gives me a little extra time to get the video content out to you. And I will try to supplement that video content with occasional text content, emails, all sorts of fun stuff. And we have stuff at the end that kind of applies, might or might not apply to y'all. I was going to say, we have a thing here for academic services, which the main thing about academic services, we have free tutoring. And I know what you're thinking, I'm an online student. The tutoring in the Academic Success Center, they can do Zoom tutoring, you know, so you can do video face-to-face kind of thing. You can also email them and this other stuff. So I don't want you to feel like because you're online students, you don't have access to these resources. You know, I'll help you if you need help stuff, but you also have free tutors that are available to you at any time. You have a testing center, which again, this mostly applies if you're on campus and especially if you have accommodations where it's like, hey, I need a completely quiet area for testing, or hey, I need time and a half on testing. The testing center can help make that happen. All right, last bits here. If you are currently in the military or a veteran in the military, we have a variety of programs that might help you out. We have a Veteran Success Center, Vet Success on Campus, also Military Tuition Assistance Program. So this section is full of email addresses, phone numbers, and hyperlinks. So basically, if you're connected to the military, save you some money, get some help. Whew, I think that's everything. That is our whole lovely syllabus. So you've probably noticed as of the time of me recording this, I don't really have any new, like I don't have any graded material up yet. No new projects for you yet. I never have the heart to do that on day one. but I do have instructions for you to do the reading. So please, please, please get this textbook ASAP, right? This is the Essentials Communication 5th edition. Please get this ASAP and start reading. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Again, I mentioned it on the phone, or I mentioned it on syllabus. I guess I didn't say it out loud. My phone number is 863-835-2399. Feel free to reach out and text me if you have any questions or concerns. Looking forward to getting to know everyone a little bit better. Bye.